Rated M for mature.
Don't let your kids watch it!
Ah, spoiler alert.
Hey there, Artie!
And gas.
Hello again, everybody. It's getting a little tense out there in Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies.
Yeah, important reminder that this Let's Play is M-rated.
I put the warning at the beginning of
well,
every
I'm telling
video.
you again because
I'll
it's
reiterate
about
it.
to get crazy.
I reiterate it again when we're about to get to the part. Anyhow,
Okay.
We're on turnabout for tomorrow, trial day 1. Let's go. We're going off to the ruined
We're
courtroom.
about to see
We're
an
battling
animated,
Edgeworth.
bloody cutscene. I don't know.
Nope, we just got the guards! December 20th, 3:11 p.m. Oh, it's the same day! I didn't realize it was the same day.
Yeah, that was the goal, because otherwise he'd be executed the next day.
I guess that makes sense. I thought it was just gonna be, well, hold off on the execution until after.
No, that's why I was like, this is dumb. Also, I would like to point out, why are the guards guarding a bombed...
The lobby wasn't bombed, it's just the courtroom was. There are a bunch of different courtroom doors around. Alright, lobby number 5.
I did a little research. I looked into those special cyclocks you mentioned, Mr. Nick.
You did? That's great! I really appreciate it.
A red cyclock protects a secret a person is consciously trying to hide. If a person folds under questioning, the lock breaks and the truth comes out.
Yep, that's exactly how I got the truth out of Detective Fulbright and Director Cosmos.
But a black cyclock protects a secret from the deepest place in a person's heart. A secret that this person isn't even consciously aware of.
So even they don't know it's there.
Athena isn't trying to keep anything from you on purpose. For some reason, part of her heart and her memories are sealed off, even from herself.
That's called PTSD.
Maybe.
Because your brain and your emotions are trying to shut off a part of your past.
Okay, so all I have to do is break the Cyclops.
Trauma response.
According to my research, a black cyclock is like a heavy chain wrapped directly under one's heart. If they're ripped off by force, it could cause permanent damage to a person's soul.
In other words, if I'm not careful, I could traumatize Athena for good.
Oh no. Are we gonna have to show off all the bad things we do?
Also, so, if you're wondering, because again, Kristoff had the 5 black Cyclops as well for his motive for killing Zach Gramarye, it seems to contradict what they say here, where it's an unconscious secret, but he was aware of that. I think it's more that, like, Kristoff's motive for murder completely and utterly consumed his entire being, that, like, it's not even something he has to think about anymore. It's just,
I guess
like,
that's
that's
fair.
everything he's
That's
protecting.
everything he's doing.
And also, common fan theory is that when we exposed all that stuff from him in court, we, like, without seeing it, ripped off the Cyclops by force, and that's why he went completely insane at the end. It's because we damaged his soul, maybe.
Okay.
Don't feel bad about it.
I'm not feeling bad. I'm more worried for this coming.
Yeah. Pearls, could you stay by Athena's side? She must be suffering under the weight of such a heavy burden.
Alright, but will you be alright by yourself, Mr. Nick?
I'm up against Edgeworth. I have to be able to give this trial all of my focus and strength.
I have a feeling that part of how we're going to fix this is someone's gonna have to channel her mom and calm Athena down individually.
Also, one other thing I want to bring up. I believe we have actually removed Black Cyclops in the past. We don't know for sure. I believe that both Edgeworth and Emma Skye had Black Cyclops in the DL6 case and in Rise from the Ashes.
Yeah.
Because, like, Edgeworth forgot kind of about the scream that Von Karma gave, except for his nightmare. And then Emma, she kind of forgot about the drawing that she did and, like, what she saw in this, and eventually we were able to, like, uncover the truth without destroying their souls.
Their souls. Cool.
So that might... Yeah.
If you can't do it, and you can't do it if I'm there, I'll just hold you back.
No, that's not it. I just meant I can relax and concentrate if I knew you were with Athena. You're the only one who can do it, Pearls.
Alright. I'll do it then. Good luck, Mr. Nick.
Good. Now that my mind is at ease, I'd better get ready. I'll just tidy up the evidence and take out what I don't need. It's time to end this nightmare that started 7 years ago.
Garbage thrown out.
December 20th, District Court, courtroom number 4.
All right.
Defense, prosecution, and judge. There are even people in the gallery.
How?
The roof has been completely blown off and the walls have collapsed. But today, this ruin is my battleground.
I think that's funny.
Day 1, court is now in session.
robot.
All rise.
Wait, is she not appearing in person?
Probably not.
I guess that would make sense. 'Cause
Otherwise,
otherwise
it's like,
the
oh,
police
we'll
would be
just
like,
save the hostages. Court, or some facsimile thereof, is now in session for the trial of Athena Sykes. We got the judge. We didn't even get like a discount judge. Like, oh, it's Judge Herm. He's not that great. She's like, oh, I guess it's good.
I thought for
be
2
a
seconds.
trial.
I thought for 2 seconds it was gonna be Juniper.
Juniper's pretending to be the judge.
Yeah.
That would actually be great.
It was a fake trial.
Not a facsimile, old man. This is a proper official trial. Take this more seriously, or you'll start hearing the bones of the hostages snap. Please try not to upset Miss Blackwell. I'm begging you. Court is now in session for the very serious and very proper trial of Athena Sykes.
Feels good to see you again.
Hey, Edgeworth.
What is that face?
He's had that before, it's just in 3D, it looks stink face. This is no trial. It's nothing more than a ridiculous farce. What did you say? Edgeworth! Did you not hear what I just said to His Honor? However, this ridiculous farce has a very important meaning for our legal system. Recall the case of the UR1 incident, in which a prosecutor was found guilty of murder. That case ushered in the odious dark age of law. I see what you're after. If we can find the real truth behind that case today. Precisely. The darkness will be dispelled and the glory shall be restored to the courtroom. Prosecutor Edgeworth, you sound as if you know something of this truth. I do indeed. A new suspect has emerged in the UR1 case. For 7 years, Simon Blackwell has refused to speak in order to cover for someone else. Brace yourself, Phoenix. Here it comes. I'm sorry, Wright, but the situation is what it is, and I must do what I must. The prosecution moves to indict Athena Sykes on the count of murder in the 1st degree.
Now, here is my question.
Hang on. Cutscene time.
Okay. There's people.
Where is people?
Regardless the circumstance, I intend to question the defendant with all I have. For that is a part of my creed.
Okay.
Then you better bring it.
If the two of you are ready. Court is now in session for the trial of Athena Sykes.
Your Honor, the defense was born ready.
The prosecution is also ready.
What a final trial, eh?
I mean, I do like Edgeworth's voice.
It's fine there. He gets a new objection voice, and it's terrible.
I can't wait to hear it. Also, what was I gonna say before the cutscene? I forgot.
When he's like, I indict Athena on this. We will usher in, like, the new glory to the court.
Oh, shoot. What was I gonna say? I don't remember now.
Well, if you forgot, it probably wasn't important.
It
You're right.
was.
Oh, it was?
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't know if this is exactly what I was gonna say, but now I have something to say. I am reversing my thoughts about
Clay?
No, Aura. Because I was like, oh, she's doing this to protect her brother. No, she's just throwing Athena out.
Oh, you think she just hates Athena that much?
Yeah. She's not trying to get her brother off.
She kind of hates her brother. She's
hates
like,
her
I
brother.
want Athena to die.
Go play with your dolls, Aura.
This immense tension between us. It's like we're picking up right where we left off. It's my duty to clear Prosecutor Blackwell of false accusations and end this insanity. But I have no intention of losing Miss Sykes either. She's a very promising young lawyer. I know without a doubt that Athena is innocent.
Oh, now I know what I was gonna ask. Okay, Athena, are we trying her as a child? Because this happened as a child.
Yes, I believe
Okay,
so.
so
So
punishment won't be as bad.
Right.
All right.
And yeah, we're trying her right now for the murder of her mom and not for the murder of Clay.
Yeah.
But I don't think Prosecutor Blackwell did it either. So, do you have any clue who was responsible for the sabotage? At the very least, I know it wasn't Simon Blackwell. I don't know enough to identify the true culprit, but it's clear what that person is. To put it simply, a spy. The true culprit is a spy.
18-year-old Clay spy.
It's going to be hard to convince anyone of that when I barely believe it myself. But I don't have a choice if I want to save Athena and Blackwell and expose the spy. Now then, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. No need for the Chief Prosecutor bit, Your Honor.
There is also the possibility that, this is gonna sound very bad, but if you're old, in this game, there's a very good chance that you're bad.
So it might be the director?
It could be the director. Like, the director was so smart. He was like, I'm gonna switch the platforms so that
they'll blow up the wrong place. Or they'll blow up the thing when no one's actually in there.
Like, I commend him for that. That's super cool. But, like, that's some spy level thinking. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's not necessarily off the hook.
I'm just saying, we had Von Karma with his perfect record.
With
Old
Damon
Man.
Gant.
Damon Gant. We had,
Yanni Yogi, old
Yanni
guy.
Yogi. We had the freaking ambassador.
Oh
dude.
yeah, he was
So-
old as dirt.
Old as dirt. I'm just saying.
Blaze
old-
the Best was old as dirt too. He just looked good because he had a six-pack.
He had. Yeah. I'm just saying, if you're old in this game, you're in trouble.
All right,
So
you heard it here first.
There is a good chance that. I mean, they like doing that.
Which means that the real killer is Juniper's grandmother.
Who's not even in. She's like, I love sunflowers.
and killing people. And spying on the space program for Russia.
Oh my gosh.
I am here as a simple prosecutor. Very well. Your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth.
I'm just a simple country bumpkin.
Although I've been known of late to give an impressive opening statement myself. In all the trials I've ever seen, only the prosecution gives an opening statement. Of course, you're right. I was just joking. Just having a little fun. So he wasn't doing them just out of fear. Interesting. Let's start with a brief overview of the UR1 incident. The incident occurred at the Cosmos Space Center 7 years ago, on October 7th. The victim, psychologist Metis Sykes, was killed in the robotics lab on the 4th floor. It always happens on the 4th floor. It's terrible. It's a bad place.
Well, in Japan, since this game was made in Japan, the number 4
Means
symbols
death.
death.
Yep.
So, same with 13.
Athena's mother. Simon Blackwell, a young prosecutor at the time, was found guilty of the crime. There were 2 deciding factors that led to his guilty verdict.
He was 18.
1, Blackwell was the only person in the corridor to the lab at the time of the murder. And 2, this photo, which captured the moment of the crime. Very incriminating evidence indeed, except it doesn't show him actually doing the deed. He could have just been like,
doesn't show his
whoa,
face.
what is this? Who spilled ketchup on the katana?
There's a couple things that are interesting to me that I only am just now realizing from the photo. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, the
Didn't
bandaged
see the
robot
arm before. That's a. Yeah, that could be Blackwell, but
You still think it's Clay?
it looks like Clay.
Alright.
It looks like
Wearing
Clay.
his suit.
Yeah, you just put on his jacket so that way it doesn't incriminate him as Clay.
It would appear that the only conclusion is that Prosecutor Blackwell did indeed. Are you kidding me? I'm not accepting any conclusion of the kind. This opening statement is over. Now hurry up and call the witness. Excuse me, Miss Blackwell, but we must follow proper procedure for these fiends, you know. Or perhaps we should heed her wishes, Your Honor. She is the trial sponsor, after all.
gosh.
Worst sponsor ever. Besides, the courtroom is chilly, and sitting for far too long can't be good for your back.
He's sitting? I thought he was standing.
Yeah, he is sitting. The judge is sitting.
Oh, he's got a big old
His
chair.
chair, yeah.
I thought he was
Oh,
standing.
you are very kind to show such concern for the welfare of the elderly. As skilled as ever at playing the court puppeteer, I see. The prosecution calls its first witness. A witness who decided to bring forth new testimony after 7 long years. New testimony? And just who is this witness anyway?
It's Ponko. It's Ponko. is Ponko.
It's
Oh.
Fulbright! How
Fulbright.
could you?
Now that I'm divorced, I can give away all of my secrets.
Bobby Fulbright's the name. In justice we trust. What are you doing here? I'm just here to speak for the hostage taker, Miss Aura Blackwill. She says she's too busy what with confining and threatening the hostages and all.
Everyone in the audience is like,
What? That certainly doesn't stop her from constantly chiming in for Clonko. I'm nothing more than an observer in this. Do your best. I'm watching you. Believing her brother innocent, Miss Blackwill has been conducting her own investigation. And though her current actions are hardly lawful, I think we can at least hear her theory. I have here Miss Blackwill's notes on the investigation she conducted. And I'll be giving testimony based on these notes. Here I go.
That's... My glasses don't work. That's gonna be half of them.
Or a Blackwell's theory. Well, she's in the science field, and as we all know, most people who are in the science field have terrible handwriting. Especially
You're in the
doctors.
science field.
I'm the exception that proves
You're
the
the
rule,
exception.
Mari. I wouldn't
Okay.
really call computer stuff the science field.
I'm
as
not in
much.
the science field.
You're not in the sinus field either.
I know I'm in the sinus field.
Or
My
a Blackwell's
sinuses
theory.
are bad.
Simon isn't the murderer. He was trying to cover for someone. Someone else was at the scene at the time they say Simon committed the murder. I mean, if he really was out to steal that moon rock, then why the rolling case? Because he was using it to hide someone inside, that's why. And the only person small enough to fit inside that case was Athena Sykes.
That's your theory. Interesting.
And that's Miss Blackwell's theory. It totally goes in the face of the official ruling, huh? About the case she mentions, there were other rolling cases like that one in the lab. But they're not for traveling. They're apparently for moving parts and equipment. I vaguely remember seeing 3 cases, all different sizes.
Anyone can fit in those.
At the last trial, they thought that Prosecutor Blackwell used that case to steal the rock. And they had a perfectly good reason to think that too. You see, there's a security camera in the corridor that leads to the robotics lab. And that camera captured footage of Blackwell leaving the scene with the case.
Oh.
Again, we can't see his face though.
Can't see his face. Also, now this gives me even more idea that this is Clay because we're seeing the other side of his head that doesn't have the silver hair.
Well, this is before Blackwell dyed his hair
Simon
white.
doesn't wear black boots. You can't convince
Yes,
me.
he does.
We've never seen his full profile.
Yes, we did. When
we?
when he in that cutscene where he walked into the courtroom, he wears
Oh.
black boots.
Fine.
I can see why that footage helped to bring his trial to a
Your
quick
finger
end.
moving's pretty weird, Phoenix.
Oh, that is bizarre. Yeah, it's very convincing, that's for sure. Not your finger moving.
Also, I like how the fence above is like very blurry.
Yeah.
When you
well, it's like a
where
wire
it's broken.
fence.
No. Press
Oh,
A.
7-year-old photo updated.
There.
That's rock. Or are you
Oh,
talking about the
I'm
actual
talking
one?
about the actual
I'll have
wood
to
on
take
there.
a look at it then. That case, by the way, was later discovered outside the Space Center grounds. Speaking of after
You see
the
how it looks
incident...
very pixely?
Oh yeah, it does.
It's kind of weird.
Where was the defendant Athena Sykes found? She was found on the 5th floor of the Space Center in the Sykes family residence. Prosecutor Blackwell most likely brought her there after the incident. In addition, it's unknown where Miss Sykes was at the estimated time of death. Miss Sykes was too confused by the shock of her mother's death to give proper testimony.
Which is fair.
And there was no witness or evidence to tell us where she might have been.
Also fair.
So, what you're saying is Miss Sykes didn't have an alibi. That is what the evidence is saying, yes. I understand the reasoning behind the theory, but I'm far from convinced. The victim is the accused's mother. Are you actually claiming an 11-year-old girl? Of course, the girl had a very strong motive. Dr. Sykes was a psychologist who wrote many papers about speech and emotions. You're aware of Athena Sykes' special ability, aren't you, Your Honor? Are you referring to that therapy thing? Yes, she's done it quite a few times in court. The ability to read emotions from speech, and the subject of her mother's research. Well, as long as it benefits society, I don't see any particular problem researching it. I don't like where this is heading. Not one bit. Dr. Sykes was so intent on her research, she forced her daughter to undergo experiments. Prosecutor Edgeworth? Are you seriously suggesting? I've done my best to be delicate, but even you can't deny it to be true, Mr. Wright. No longer able to withstand the anguish of the experiments, Miss Sykes felt her only choice was to kill her own mother. Ah! Order! Order in the court! What a tragic story. I hardly want to believe it myself. But we must proceed. Mr. Wright, if you could. Detective Fulbright, please refer to the notes.
Yikes.
Yep.
That's what I was guessing, but also, like, don't want that.
Yeah. The theory. Simon isn't the murderer, he was trying to cover for someone. So, Prosecutor Blackwell willingly accepted a death sentence to protect someone else? Yes! That is precisely what Miss Blackwell appears to believe! And that is what I believe as well. Prosecutor Blackwell is no murderer, Mr. Wright. I mean, he's tried to kill us in court before, so, I mean, is he really innocent?
Also, like, if Athena Sykes was the one who killed her own mom, then, like, I don't think she really received punishment if she's, like, 8 or 11 or whatever.
She was 11, and especially if, like, her mom was actually abusing her in that way, she probably wouldn't get very much punishment,
No.
if any at
If
all.
anything, it would be like, we're taking you to
Therapy.
We're taking you to your relatives in Europe. Like,
Which we already did. But Athena Sykes certainly didn't kill anyone either, Mr. Edgeworth. So it appears neither of us can afford to go easy on the other. Fine, I expected no less. Ooh, I remember this tense atmosphere. It's so invigorating. I'm only reading notes here, but yeah, I feel extra invigorated too. So let's keep going. Fulbright, never change. Someone else was at the scene of the crime, and they say, well... But that's just speculation.
Objection!
Yeah. It's not a very good objection. Objection!
I need to hear it again.
No, Miss Blackwell has proper grounds for her claims.
Objection!
Then why didn't you say so in the first place?
Objection!
Objection! Objection! You're the one who screamed, "Hold it!" and cut me off.
It sounds like
Fine, so
Bowser.
maybe I jumped the gun by a teeny weeny bit. Ha 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 ha! Now I know what they mean when they say close enough to argue. Moving on. I mean, if he really was out to steal that moon rock, why the rolling case? This rolling case, I suppose you mean the one that existed in this photo with Prosecutor Blackwell in it. But was absent when the crime scene photos were taken.
Oh. Well, this is a super easy fix, because Pearl literally said we could both fit in it.
So there could have been an adult in there.
It could have
as
been
well.
an adult.
Yes, that's the one. And Miss Blackwell has drawn a conclusion from these two photos. She has? And what is that conclusion? You're the one with her notes! Oh, right. Of course. Reading them now. So why the rolling case? It's gonna be hard for, like, Fulbright to cross-examine her. What did she mean by that? I don't know. I'm just reading the notes. She's using it to hide someone inside. And how do you propose he hit a person inside one of those cases? Have you forgotten that we saw just such a thing only the other day? At your own daughter's magic show, she fit a grown person into a small box. Oh yeah! Way to ruin the memory of a good day! A magic show?
Edgeworth was there?
I wish you would have thought to invite me. Actually, I would have liked to go too. My apologies. I'll invite you both next time. I promise. So, wait a minute. What were we talking about again? Prosecutor Blackwell was using the case to hide someone.
Oh my goodness.
The only person small enough to fit inside that case was Athena Sykes.
Hold it!
But that's nothing more than conjecture, and it's hardly the only possibility. In that case, what do you think Prosecutor Blackwell had in that case? I think it was
Cheese.
the moon rock.
He had lots of foreign cheese. He's like, I have to have all of my European cheese.
There were 3 cases at the scene, but Prosecutor Blackwell used the largest one. He had an extra large Roquefort in there. The moon rock was egg-shaped and only about 8 inches in diameter. It wouldn't have made any sense to use the largest case there just to move the rock.
Objection!
Maybe he wanted to think we were doing something else. Be that as it may, it doesn't prove Miss Sykes was inside. Then let me ask you this. Can you come up with a better theory of what was in the case? Well, Mr. Wright, can you? Yikes. Give a guy some time to think. Let's see. Should I try to bluff my way through what could have been in that case? Bluff or don't bluff? It's my favorite TV show. It's a deal or no deal, but higher stakes.
This isn't a bluff situation. This is it's big enough to fit a grown human in there. Oh my gosh.
I guess I better wait and see how it goes. It's a clever theory, but it doesn't look like they have any solid proof. If I push, maybe I can uncover some flaws in it.
Yeah, so I'm supposed to bluff.
Probably. It's the Phoenix right way.
Hold it!
Do.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to bluff it. I know it. That's the problem.
No objection!
Edgeworth, they did you wrong.
It's still not as bad as Clavier's new objection, where it's like, this is just a normal guy saying objection. It's just like, objection. Alright, let's bluff. I know exactly what Prosecutor Blackwell carried from the scene. I just have to find something else that was missing, right? No sweat. Ooh, I'd be very interested in hearing your theory. If it's true, that is. This is a crime scene photo taken after Prosecutor Blackwell left, correct? All we have to do is compare this with this photo of Prosecutor Blackwell to see what's missing. If he took something with him, then it should be in one of these photos. Lady Luck, don't fail me now.
So we can compare and contrast.
Alright then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. What did Prosecutor Blackwell take from the scene of the murder? So here's that photo. And then here's this photo.
Oh, did he take the paper on the ground?
They're gonna be the giant case for the paper. It's probably the bloody bandaged robotic arm.
The one that I didn't
move, dang it! Good lord. Oh, you can't drag it, I guess. Please notice that there is a robot part on the top of the card in this photo. However, in this photo taken after the crime, the robot part is gone. In other words, this part is something that was taken from the scene of the crime. You do appear to be right. I don't see it in the second picture. But it's just a piece of junk. How important could it be? Is it really just an insignificant robot part? Speaking of which... What are you looking at? I'm gonna start charging for each glance per eyeball. Stingy. What happened to the age of free previews? Your Honor, about this robot part, doesn't it look like it could be an arm from that robot there? Well, now that you mention it, it does, doesn't it? But the case is still too big to be practical for just the moon rock and a robot arm. But was it really just the one arm that was in there? If it wasn't Athena in the case, then maybe... I believe there was another robot at the scene that looks just like the one here. Your Honor, it is the defense's assertion that it was this other robot that was in the case. What? The robot doesn't stand on the crates.
Well, yeah.
We can't be certain that part belonged to a robot. Yes, it looks like the arm of the one before us, but it could be something else entirely. Besides, it's wrapped entirely in bandaging, making it very difficult to verify what it is.
Objection!
I know for a fact that it is a robot arm. I can even tell which robot it belonged to, just by looking at it. With this information, we can investigate whether it was there at the time or not. But Mr. Wright, I thought you were more of the technologically illiterate type. When did you become such an expert? I feel somehow abandoned. Not to worry, Your Honor. I still know next to nothing about machines. But I know this piece of evidence proves which robot the arm belonged to. It was in the photo. The robot in this picture is named Ponko. But take a look at Ponko's arm. It was Miss Sykes who bandaged it up like that. She must have thought that machines heal in the same way that people do. What an adorable, naive mistake. It reminds me of my own grandchild. The robot arm at the crime scene had the same bandaging wrapped around it. In other words, this robot arm could belong to none other than Ponko.
Ponko. Help.
Order in the court! Order, I say! Prosecutor Edgeworth, what do you have to say to this? You were saying, I hope.
I hope that Ponko's fine.
I concede that the robot is about the same size as a child. But it cannot grab its knees and curl itself up into a ball.
engaging morph ball mode.
Even if it was the largest of the cases, the robot couldn't have possibly fit in there. The case does come up to about mid-thigh on Prosecutor Blackwell. I see your point. The robot is much taller than that. You've got me there. So then, did Prosecutor Blackwell make... he made it fit into the case by dismantling her or compacting it?
Dismantling.
Of course Ponko would fit. All Prosecutor Blackwell had to do was dismantle her. Once taken apart, the robot could have easily fit inside that rolling case. It appears to be a robot assembly device.
Assemble anything in a flash. Push the dismantle button. That sounds pretty neat. Can I push it, Mr. Nick?
It sounds rather violent, but Mr. Wright does have a point there.
Objection!
Except that there is a body on the table where robots are dismantled and assembled. There would have been no room to take the robot apart.
Objection!
But what if it wasn't done on the table? What if the katana was used instead? You mean the sword? Yes, Your Honor. Miss Blackwell, I'd like your opinion as a woman of science. Isn't it true that the katana could have been used to take the robot apart? I suppose so. Their joints aren't made of a very tough material. A blade could slice through them. Thank you for your expert opinion, Miss Blackwell. Thanks to you, we now know that the existence of the severed arm in the photo proves that Ponko was taken apart. In addition, since the rest of Ponko was not found at the scene, we can conclude that the true meaning of this photo is very different from the original interpretation. You can't mean! That's exactly what I mean. This photo does not capture the moment of the murder. It is instead a picture of the moment after the robot was sliced apart. The blood you see where the arm was cut off at was transferred there by the bloody katana. Most likely, the rest of Ponko is scattered around Prosecutor Blackwell's feet. Not hearing this! Therefore, what was transported inside that case was not the defendant, but a robot. Miss Sykes was never at the scene of the time of the murder. My head, my body, where am I? There's a lot of robot voices in this. First Ted Tonate and now all this.
Yeah.
Order in the court! It's true that Ponko was found in pieces after the murder. And I'll admit I repaired her myself afterwards. Photo of the crime updated in the court record. Yes! I'm finally making some progress. Hopefully I've gotten at least one step closer to proving both Athena and Prosecutor Blackwell innocent.
Objection!
Well played, Mr. Wright. You've made your point abundantly clear. I concede that it wasn't the defendant inside the rolling case, but the robot. Alright. What's going on here? It's never good when he plays things this straight. Does the prosecution withdraw its claim that the defendant was carried from the scene? No, Your Honor. My claim hasn't changed.
Objection!
But Ponko and Miss Sykes couldn't have both been inside the case.
Objection!
The notion that the case was used to carry Miss Sykes was Miss Blackwell's theory. I have been of a different opinion from the outset. Now I finally have the opportunity to voice my theory. Thanks to the defense. Edgeworth. He's been one step ahead of me this whole time. In that case, how do you propose the defendant left the crime scene? Simple. The footage only shows Prosecutor Blackwell from behind. What's more, he's holding his arm in front of his body, as if he were holding something, or someone. That's hardly evidence. I have proof. The surcoat Prosecutor Blackwell was wearing. The victim's blood was found on the front of it, and the stain had a highly distinctive shape. A blood stain? With a distinctive shape? Please continue, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. 7 years ago, the defendant was known to constantly wear a certain item, of which there is only one in the world. A special pair of headphones made just for her.
They look like bunnies.
She always wore these big, heavy-looking headphones. She said her mother made them for her as part of her research.
Analysis showed the blood stain to be in the exact same shape as these headphones. In other words, this was no mere blood splatter. The blood went from the victim's body to the headphones, and then was imprinted onto Prosecutor Blackwell's coat like a stamp. A most gruesome stamp indeed. Blackwell carried Miss Sykes, who had been hit by the splatter, away from the crime scene. This proves that Athena Sykes was, without question, present at the crime scene. And that concludes the prosecution's argument. Ah! Order! If the defendant was indeed at the scene, it deepens the suspicion against her.
Objection!
But we've also shown that the robot was there at the scene as well.
Objection!
I hope you're not making the ridiculous claim that a simple robot was the real murderer. I don't really think that, no, but you can't say the possibility isn't there. Detective Fulbright, was the robot questioned at the time? No, I don't see any record of it. I believe it was considered unrelated to the case. But as it turned out, the robot was actually integrally related. Your Honor, the defense would like to call Ponko to the stand.
Ponko! Ponko!
A robot witness?
We've had a parrot, Your Honor. We've had a bird man, Your Honor.
True. Order! Order in the court! Prosecutor Edgeworth, what do you think about
We've
this?
had a flying clown before, sir.
There was no flying
Do we not have a flying clown? Oh no, we just had a clown.
Yes.
No flying clown.
Mr. Wright has...
Other dude flew.
Max. Max Galactic, yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
Mr. Wright has called all manner of witnesses to the stand over the years. So why not a robot? Nothing surprises me anymore with him. Very well. I will allow the witness. Bailiff, please summon the robot named Ponko.
He's gotta run. He's gotta go get some McDonald's first. Yay! I get to see Ponko!
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is not Witness. My name is Honko.
Yes, I realize that. But when you are at the witness stand, you are the witness.
No, I'm not. I'm Ponko. Say it with me. Honko.
What an utterly inflexible little robot!
And thus
Ponko!
just continuing the trend of Edgeworth never being able to get the witnesses to say their names.
Yeah.
You're the last person who should be calling anybody inflexible. Aha! You remind me of my grandchild who just learned his own name. Oh, how precious. Alright, Ponko. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Questions? You have questions? Hooray! What are your questions?
I want to know if you were there at the scene of the murder of Metis Sykes. It was 7 years ago on the 7th of October around 2 p.m. in the robotics lab.
Processing. Certainly. Just one moment. Searching data. Search complete. Yes! I was there in the robotics lab.
It would seem that this robot's testimony is necessary to this case after all. This is great! I just knew Ponko must have seen something important. A murder committed right before this poor little girl's eyes! It's inexcusable! The judge seems ready to adopt Ponko as another grandchild. So, little Ponko, do you think you can give us your testimony today? Witness testimony. What I saw.
Finally, Ponko's testifying.
I went to the robotics lab at about 2 p.m. for my regular recharge. Just as I was about to charge up, Athena came in and hugged Mommy Metis. And then Mommy Metis fell down. After that, I was recharging, so I don't know anything. After I charged up, I was cleaning the room and Mr. Simon came in. And then an error occurred. There is no data after that point.
Well, Simon dismantled. Choppy
Well,
chop chop.
it sounds like the defendant was, without question, at the scene. However, it doesn't appear that the witness saw the actual moment of the murder. I disagree. This testimony shows that the defendant did indeed commit the crime. What?
Yeah, I saw it.
At the end of the day, we mustn't forget that this witness is still a machine. Being a robot, its understanding and capacity to express itself are limited. So what are you suggesting? The witness's statements need to be interpreted. For example, the terms hugged and then later fell down. Adults don't usually fall down after being hugged by a child. They don't, but... Yes, what this witness's statements are telling us is... that the defendant stabbed the victim with the murder weapon during this moment. What?!
Even if it's not that, the timeline is correct of that.
Yeah.
Athena came in, hugged her mom, left, and then Simon came in and dismantled.
Huh. Before Miss Sykes hugged Dr. Sykes, did the two of them converse?
Yes, they did. They spoke to each other very loudly, but I don't know what they said. Athena is usually so quiet, so I was surprised.
Spoke very loudly. We can interpret this to mean they argued. I see. Murder after a heated argument. And then the victim fell down. I agree that it does sound like a reasonable interpretation. However, Ponko doesn't seem to remember anything that happened after that.
When I am recharging, I go into sleep mode. But I remember everything before that. I have a very good memory.
You may as well admit defeat now, right? A cross-examination would be useless.
Not true. Always useful.
Don't be ridiculous! A cross-examination is never useless. Until now. Think about it. Robots don't lie.
You're programmed.
This robot is both an important witness and valuable evidence at the same time. Nevertheless, I will have my cross-examination. I see you haven't changed. You never were one to worry about wasting time. Very well. Even if it may be a waste of time, you may proceed, Mr. Wright. I'll show you both just how fruitful any cross-examination can be. I'll show you what real evil is. Cross-examination.
Here, Sonic.
What I saw.
I went to the robotics lab.
Do you always go at 2 p.m.? Your regular recharge? What is that exactly?
I have to refill my battery's powers, or else I stop working. I go to the lab to do that.
So that recharge occurred around 2 p.m., around the time of the murder.
That's right. I go every day at 2 p.m. Just as I was about to charge up, Athena came in.
Hugged her, huh? Which Edgeworth took to mean stabbed her with a weapon. You said the two of them were talking before Miss Sykes hugged her mother, is that right?
Yes, they were talking very loudly, but I couldn't tell what they were saying.
Couldn't tell? Even though they were speaking so loudly?
I'm only allowed to listen to voices that are directed at me.
If it listened to every voice, it would be little better than a mobile eavesdropper. Well, that explains why some of Ponko's testimony is so vague. It's a shame that our little friend wasn't listening in, however. We could have learned what they were talking about just before Dr. Sykes was killed. Now then, what happened after that?
And then Mommy Matus fell down.
Oh no.
Oh no, not Mommy Matus.
Metis. I don't want to delve too deeply here, but... Could you tell us how the victim appeared and acted at this moment?
Mommy Matus was very surprised when she was hugged. I heard her heart pound.
Her heart? Mr. Wright, have you forgotten about this document we found in the robotics lab? These robots have a heartbeat detection system. Now that he mentions it, I do remember hearing something like, reading something like that.
We could ask if the heart stopped beating.
True. They detect the presence of people by the sound of their heartbeats. But wait a minute. That means... if Dr. Sykes really did die at this moment... Ponko, how was Dr. Sykes after she fell down? Could you still hear the sound of her heartbeat?
Let's see. The moment she fell, her heart was pounding. After that, I don't know. I started recharging just then.
Of all the unlucky timing! If you had heard anything after that! It could have possibly proved that the hug wasn't actually the moment of the murder!
I'm very sorry. I'm afraid I don't know. I'm very sorry.
The robot is designed to go into sleep mode automatically, so it can't be helped. But it does appear it detected an increased heart rate at the moment of the stabbing.
After Mommy Matus's heart started pounding in surprise, she fell by the window. It was the round window on the workbench side of the room.
Oh,
The workbench, huh?
that's the opposite side of the room.
Ponko must be talking about that table to the right of where the giant robot is now. Is there something critical in Ponko's
Yes.
testimony?
Yes? That's the opposite side of the room.
Your Honor, I believe this statement is critical. I'd like it added to her testimony. Very well. Ponko, could you please add that statement to your testimony?
It's always good to add statements.
That's a good little girl. Very few times. There was only like that one puzzle in Justice for All where you had to say no, that wasn't important.
Yeah.
Mommy Metis fell down near the round window of the workbench side of the room.
Objection!
No, she didn't. Ponko, your statement may have just inspired a breakthrough.
My head can spin. I was helpful. Hooray! I am so happy.
Just to be sure, let's go over it again, okay? The victim fell near the window on the workbench side of the room. However, her body was discovered on the operating table. But the operating table and the workbench are two different locations. Exactly, Your Honor. We've just learned a new crucial fact. What could explain the two very different locations of the body? I'll tell you what. The victim moved, the defendant moved the body.
The victim moved?
An 11-year-old girl couldn't have moved the heavy
Yeah.
body of an adult. So the only explanation is that the victim walked to the operating table herself. In other words, what Ponko observed near the workbench couldn't possibly have been the moment of the murder. Whew! I'm very relieved to hear that. Glad to know that the murder wasn't committed in front of poor little Ponko here. Yes, as we just heard in the testimony, Miss Sykes hugged her mother, nothing more.
Objection!
Right. It's been 8 years, but you're still just as green as ever. Green? But I can't recall ever seeing Mr. Wright in anything but a blue suit. Hey, blue's my favorite color! What can I say? You saw him in the pink Phoenix sweater.
Yep.
I blocked that out of my memory.
Super lovey-dovey.
If the defendant couldn't move the body herself, she could have had it moved for her. Moved for her? But Miss Sykes and Dr. Sykes were the only ones there.
All we're missing is just Larry Butts to show up.
Yeah, I agree. Since this robot is equipped with a heartbeat detection system, it would have been aware of another person's presence if someone else had been there.
Dude, I'm like Aura's biggest fan, man.
Yeah, she's like a totally hot baby.
She's like a totally
oh,
hot
wait,
baby.
Aura! Oh, whoops, I accidentally clicked there. We can therefore conclude that the defendant and the victim were the only ones present. So then, who do you suggest moved the body? Don't you know it's in the nature of a robot to help people do things? Miss Panko, allow me to ask you a question.
My name is Ponko. Say it with me, Ponko.
I believe you said you were cleaning after Dr. Sykes fell down. Did you happen to move something large onto the operating table?
Yes I did. Athena asked me to.
Athena asked you to? And what did you move, little Ponko?
I don't know. Unless something has an ID tag, I can't tell what it is.
An ID tag, you say?
Yes, a tag with a barcode on it. We robots scan them to tell us what a thing is.
That paper in the lab did mention something about
But
that.
she can also scan faces she knows.
Right.
So that's not going to be a problem.
Recognizes people by scanning their spacesuit or uniform jacket ID tag, it said. So it would appear that Miss Panko here can't identify what it moved.
Ponko!
My name is Ponko.
But we humans have the power to imagine what it was, do we not?
Mr. Edgeworth.
We do?
Mr. Edgeworth is just very hungry for some Panko chicken.
Well, I do at the very least. Miss Panko, on the defendant's command, move the body onto the operating table. Gah!
Will you stop calling me Panko? I'm not the
You
breadcrumbs.
Ponko, did you really move Dr. Sykes' body? This is really important. Isn't there any way you could tell?
I don't know. Without an ID tag, I can't tell.
Give it up, Wright. If the victim's heart was stopped, the robot's detection system would be useless. Furthermore, Dr. Sykes usually wore her white coat while she was working. She kept the jacket with her ID tag on it draped over a chair in the robotics lab. And only wore it for special occasions. In other words, the victim wasn't wearing her ID tag at the time.
She can recognize faces. She's the one who made them!
She didn't want them having her private face.
But Mama Metis or Metis is acceptable.
Oh. From the robot's point of view, the body was simply just another object.
Objection!
But Pongo's equipped with a facial recognition system. If she really did move the victim, she would have recognized the body as Dr. Sykes. But she didn't, so that means...
Objection!
A face can easily be covered with a piece of cloth, a mask, or anything else for that matter. With her facial features hidden, the robot wouldn't be able to tell it was Dr. Sykes.
You think an 11-year-old's gonna think of this?
He's right. To summarize, Miss Sykes stabbed her mother near the workbench, then using the robot, she moved the body to the table, where she removed the sword and was stained in blood.
Edgeworth, I'm on your side. Also Edgeworth.
I'm going to
Yeah,
prove your
I'm
partner
going.
is a terrible person. Order! But if that's the case, then I have a question. Why did the defendant move the body to the operating table in the first place? You want a reason? Very well. What? You can't possibly have an explanation! Your emotions blind you to the truth. You could learn a lot from our robot friends. Calm and rational thought will open your eyes to the truth in front of you, Mr. Wright. Now then, do you remember the operating table's one special feature? I believe I read that robots can be assembled and disassembled there, isn't that right? That's right. And to the defendant, who was just a child at the time, the table was like a magic box that could make robots appear or disappear in seconds.
But in the end, my mom just put her on the operating table and fixed her in a flash. I was so impressed by what my mom did. I even asked her if she would put me on the table and fix me if I ever got hurt. It looked just like magic to me, what she could do.
You can't possibly be suggesting. This young, sheltered girl had a difficult time distinguishing robots from people. But take a look at Ponko's arm. It was Miss Sykes who bandaged it up like that. She must have thought that machines heal in the same way that people do. What an adorable, naive mistake. It reminds me of my own grandchild. No way. I refuse to believe it. Miss Sykes made a childish, naive, and cruel mistake. She thought that if a robot could be dismantled and vanish without a trace... Prosecutor Edgeworth! If you're about to claim what I think you are, I demand that you word it as delicately as you can. With all due respect, Your Honor, all I can do is present the truth as it stands. The reason the defendant moved the victim's body to the operating table...
Hold it!
No! Don't say another word! Just stop! Was to dismantle the evidence so that she could get away with her crime. That can't be true!
Athena, please tell me you're not in the audience.
She's the defendant. She has to be here.
Well, Pearl, I hope you knocked her out.
Order in the court! Order in the court, I say! Edgeworth. She was just a little kid. How can you say such a horrible thing? Horrible? Like I said, you're just as green as ever. I came here today as a prosecutor to seek only the truth. No more, no less. My theory is simply the result of a rational consideration of every possibility.
Objection!
But dismantling isn't the table's only function. It can make repairs as well. It's conceivable that Miss Sykes moved her to the table in order to fix her. I suppose that could be another way of interpreting it. But dismantle or repair, it doesn't matter either way. What do you mean? After murdering her mother, Miss Sykes may have come to her senses. Perhaps she did want to make it appear as if nothing had ever happened. And that's why she tried to repair her mother. Yes, that's one possible explanation. But but we mustn't forget the facts of this case. The victim was observed to fall down after being hugged by the defendant, and the body was moved per the defendant's command. These two facts that indicate the defendant's guilt, remain unchanged.
All I'm saying is get my FA and channel her mom.
This just can't be true! Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence to refute the prosecution's claim? Evidence? Right. Let's see. I can't think of any. I'm afraid I don't have any evidence. Since becoming chief prosecutor, I've learned that the truth isn't always pretty. Now accept the truth, Mr. Wright. Your subordinate murdered her own mother.
Oh boy. Athena.
Your Honor, the prosecution demands a verdict. The hostages have suffered enough. What a terrible and tragic conclusion. If the defense has no counter-argument, I see no need to further prolong this trial.
As I have said, Pearl, Faye, channel.
The court would not accept that. Edgeworth would not accept that.
They've accepted that in the past.
Edgeworth would not accept that.
Oh yeah, he wasn't there for that.
And also,
the judge has accepted that in the past.
That is true.
And he overrules Edgeworth.
I don't think the American court system would accept that.
Well, I don't know. All I'm saying is, in the past, they have channeled Mia Faye 50 billion times. They have also channeled Dahlia.
Once.
They've also channeled
That's it.
Misty Faye, I thought.
Nope.
Oh, well, that's 2 times. That's more
Or
than...
they channeled Misty Faye, or Misty Faye channeled Gregory Edgeworth. And then everyone's like, that was a fraud.
Yeah.
Thanks, Von Karma.
Thanks, Von Karma.
Edgeworth's argument seems solid enough, but there's no way Athena could have ever done anything like that. What do I do? There has to be something, but I can't think of a single thing.
Apollo, get in here. Is it Apollo? That'd be funny. It'd be pretty cool. Oh, how are you out of jail?
Prosecutor Blackquill! This is quite the farce you are conducting here. I could die from laughter.
And I will tomorrow.
Prosecutor Blackquill, what are you talking about? What I'm talking about is that your argument is based on an entirely false premise. Go on, we're listening. Could this be the miracle I need?
He's gonna blame it on himself.
But what is Prosecutor Blackquill trying to pull here? 7 years. For 7 long years. This case has been on my mind. Not for an instant did I not think of it. I'm the one who killed my mentor, and don't think you can alter that fact now. Your boldness, I will take to the stand, and I will not take no for an answer. Of course, Prosecutor Blackquill. Please go ahead. Well, I think we'll have to hear his testimony next time.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Wow, yeah.
Alright then.
This just keeps getting darker, doesn't it?
I guess. Yeah.
I mean...
It didn't get as dark as the last episode.
I don't know, the concept of 11-year-old Athena attempting to dismember her mother to get rid of the evidence is pretty messed up.
I was thinking more she was gonna do it to try and repair her, but you know, if you try to repair a human, it'll still cut.
It's still gonna, like,
mutilate the body.
Yeah, so... Oh boy, thanks for watching, everybody. Next time, it's, I guess, Blackwell's taking the stand.
Blackwell's taking the stand.
And yeah, we'll see what's in store for us next time. Until we meet again, my friends, have a great day, and God bless.